Good morning, traders. Richard here doing a quick Ichimoku cloud chart market review of the Nasdaq 100E minis futures contract. Flirting here with bearish territory as the price action is trading below the cloud, and any price action below the Ichimoku cloud is ultimately bearish. Key levels to watch out for potential support is this bottom end cloud chart support zone that it's currently testing. Will be interesting to see if we're going to get a rebound from that. Back above the front end cloud chart resistance zone. We need to be back above the top end of the cloud to be bullish. So far now the Nasdaq futures is in bearish state on the daily Ichimoku. Now the next downside support target is this one here. So we've got two levels. The first one is 25,000 testing for support to see if support's going to hold there. We could see a rebound from this zone. If support fails at this zone, the next downside target is 24,552. And then the next downside target is this zone here, 24,264. And then the top end of the cloud here, roughly that zone there. It's the next one, 23,000, basically 24,000. So these are the downside risk targets if support fails to come back in, 25,000, and we fail to rebound back above the top end of the cloud. So far the daily Ichimoku cloud is bearish. Turning to the weekly, you can see that weekly we're testing, let me zoom in here. We're testing the standard line of the Ichimoku cloud for support. So far so good. The top end of the front end of the cloud is a critical support zone to watch out for. Let me see, there you go. So keep an eye on these two top end cloud chart support levels. If we fail there, we could retest these old highs here, and as well as the top end of the front end of the cloud. So these are the downside risk targets. If support fails at this top end of the front end of the cloud, there's downside risk to 24,500 and 23,320, and ultimately the bottom end of the front end of the cloud. These are the downside risk targets on the weekly Ichimoku cloud. So we might have something that we've had here where it becomes too extended from the cloud. Let me just move that thing a little bit, and it pulls back and slices through and looks for support here at the bottom end of the front end of the cloud. So that's kind of the scenario that we've got on the daily. Watch very closely to see if support's going to come back into this 25,000 zone, 24,844 on the weekly Ichimoku cloud. Turning to the 4-hour, we can see in bearish territory here, price actions below the cloud, so we could get a mean reversion if support comes back in at this zone there. Let's just see there, technical, just another couple of points down, and then a rebound from the 24,600 back up to the bottom in the cloud. But overall this chart is now bearish on the 4-hour, bearish on the daily, but still bullish on the weekly with downside risk targets to the bottom end of the front end of the cloud. So keep an eye on very closely to see if we're going to get a rebound or support come back in here, 25,000 in the market this week. But critical for the Nasdaq to get back above the top end of the cloud here to be back in bullish territory on the daily. Until next time, thanks for watching and happy cloud chart trading. Bye for now.